Some people like to challenge themselves by doing things like the 75 hard challenge or having cold showers to test and strengthen their mental fortitude. But those challenges seem easy compared with the challenge I'm about to do. See, life gets busy and our house gets messy. It starts by accumulating little pieces of paper and things that you just put away but you never actually sort through. Or looking out into the garden and saying, yep, those bushes really need massive pruning. I'm gonna get out there this weekend and really do a good day of gardening, but that day never comes. Or collecting all the things for charity but never actually making it up to the store, or never actually finding a good spot for that suitcase since you've moved in. Because if you're not busy working, spending time with family, or doing daily life admin tasks, you generally just want to curl up in bed watching TikTok or YouTube. So every day for the next 30 days, or until I've finished, whichever comes first, I'm going to get shit done. So here are my rules. Every day for 30 days, I'm going to choose one area in the house. It could be as big as the garden or as small as one drawer in a desk. And I can spend as little as 5 minutes or as long as I want doing the task, and I can even come back to it. Now, this idea came to me recently when I was making my video about furnishing my new place. In order to get the after shots, I often had to spend a long time cleaning up and putting things out in the hallway to get the shots before putting everything back. And it really made me want to have a cleaner and more manageable house. But also because of the mental load. Every time I see a pile of papers or every time I see the garden outside, I think, I really need to deal with that. I really need to deal with that. But then it all feels like too much and then just hangs around my shoulders like a burden that I carry everywhere. Personally, I know that a cleaner space where everything has a place and it can be put away sets me up for success. Because cleaning up all the time sucks, but cleaning up and not knowing what to do with stuff starts to create a cluttered space that starts to feel overwhelming. So let's start choosing a drawer, a cupboard, a plant, an area to clean, and get my house, and maybe your house, looking spick and span. The first week of this challenge was easy. Every day I found something to clean, and every time it took way less effort than I expected. I'd really been building up these tasks in my mind, like only to realize they took 5 minutes to 20 minutes to complete. The kitchen paper rack, 5 minutes. The tops of Dash's drawers, cleared in about 10 minutes. The overstuffed lounge cupboard, neat, sorted and done in about 20 minutes. And yeah, I was really starting to notice the difference. But emotionally, not so much. There are 3 things I have very consciously been avoiding. The papers in the office, the cupboard under the stairs, and the garden. The garden is literally the reason I started this challenge, and yet here I am still pretending it doesn't exist. But also, if I'm honest, the reason I started this challenge is because lately I've been feeling stuck. And when a client tells me they feel stuck, one of the first things I suggest is a small cleaning challenge or a small task they can accomplish that's within their control. The psychology of cleaning up your spaces can have a huge mental and emotional impact. When we're stuck in life, our job, our lifestyle, our relationship, and we feel like we're lacking control, it's good to get our head into the game of something we can control. And the benefit is that things in life are often cross-contextual. For example, when we feel stuck in one area of our life, we start to feel stuck in other areas too. So when we tackle a smaller, easier task we feel stuck on, like finally cleaning out that drawer, then often the bigger things seem more manageable and also magically become unstuck too. So cleaning out a cupboard starts to be the metaphor for cleaning up your life. So on week 2, I decided to really buckle down and stop avoiding the things that I thought would make a big difference to my mental load and make significant inroads to helping me feel a lot more unstuck in my life. And I definitely started strong, with finally attacking the shelves in the office and sorting out all the papers we had managed to accumulate. I even created separate folders for things like health documents, school documents, etc. So in the future, it's really easy to sort and add other documents as they come in and not have them pile up again. And I even got stuck into the cupboard under the stairs. So now everything fits with ease and the cupboard door doesn't just pop open all the time like a ghost or Harry Potter is about to pop out. And after tackling those two things, I was definitely starting to feel like I was getting somewhere. Psychology has identified many factors of why a good cleanup can make you feel so good. Tackling that smaller task can activate the reward system in your brain, making you feel productive and boosting your self-esteem. It can also relieve the mental load that item has created, whether you are aware of it or not. I once helped a client to throw away some puzzles she had in the cupboard because the pressure she felt to actually complete the puzzles, which were gifts, was also kind of unconsciously weighing on her. No more puzzles, no more pressure. Cleaning can make you happier. Leading psychological research has correlated clutter with stress and anxiety and discovered that housekeeping has a positive benefit on your mental health. Research showed that for every hour of cleaning you do each week is associated with a 53% boost in happiness. Now, I don't know about this one, but I definitely enjoy seeing my cleaning lady when she arrives. But I know for me, spending the time now decluttering will mean in the future I have to spend less time cleaning up, which is a good thing because I really dislike cleaning up. And while the week started strong, it didn't end that way. Now, unfortunately, over the last couple of days, I was sick. I had razor blade throat and was kind of in bed, and quite honestly, I kind of forgot about my declutter challenge because I just wasn't well. I'm got a little bit more energy, so I'm going to keep cleaning, but today is really about just getting the house back to some kind of manageable level again. There's washing that needs to be folded. There is washing that needs to be done. I'm just going to concentrate on getting that stuff done so that, yeah, I can actually get back to decluttering. After being sick for a few days, week 3 started off slowly, and I realized that one of the biggest things that I needed to do in this challenge was make it work for me. Because decluttering and what weighs on you mentally doesn't look the same for everyone. Because I look after the groceries and most of the cooking, I'm always mindful of our pantries, and they've been a little overstuffed lately. Welcome to my kitchen. I just have no energy today. It's a Monday. And I just get all the groceries delivered, and I've got way too many things in my fridge, in my pantry. Because I have no energy, I really haven't been able to get back into this decluttering challenge. But I have a number of things in the fridge that I need to deal with. I already cooked up the chicken nuggets from before because they needed to be cooked. I'm actually gonna cook up this chicken because it just needs to be cooked right now. But then I'm gonna make a leek and chicken pie out of it. So now my chicken has cooked to a place where I can turn it into a chicken and leek pie tomorrow. And I have my muffins, you can see them rising up in the oven. I guess now I'll cook some dinner as well. I don't know, didn't I say I had no energy today? I really don't. This has been a lot, but this is something that was necessary and something that I could do. After being sick and having such a slow start to the week, my motivation was seriously slipping. I'd lost momentum and I was still managing to avoid the garden. Classic. And even the smaller tasks weren't jumping out at me anymore. So instead of wasting time trying to figure out what to do, I sat down and made a list, just to take the decision making out of it. And honestly, that got me going again. Once I started ticking things off, I noticed 2 big shifts. I felt way more engaged in my life and everything just felt lighter. Now, one of the things I've really enjoyed is that my cleaning efforts have had a flow-on effect to others in the house. For example, Dash has enlisted me twice to help him sort out his books and his clothes, which makes it so much easier when others are on board with what you're doing. It helps create the momentum, the motivation needed to keep going myself, and knowing others will also take pride in the end state and help maintain the neatness. So I haven't had many moments of genuine joy in this decluttering process, but today I just had one because I'm on the final kind of days and I wrote that list for myself to kind of get myself motivated to finish off the last little parts. And I've decided today to tackle the shelves above the couch because they're just always kind of messy. Anyway, it's kind of become this place to just put a bunch of stuff like glasses, and I just had this amazing idea. Let me show you. These are the shelves and this is the space, and I've already pulled all the things off that I don't want up there, which I'm going to be sorting through. But here are all our glasses, and it's kind of just, like I said, a dumping ground for them. So I'm going to get a kind of a glass holder tree or something. I could go for more decorative pieces like this, which would look amazing, or something more like this, which takes like 12 pairs. I doubt it takes 12 pairs, maybe 6. So instead of being my usual indecisive self about what to buy, I went, stuff it. Let's just get these because I think they could look really cool. Well, maybe I'll keep it as a secret for tomorrow if you couldn't see those about what ones I chose. This could be really fun. They're here. Let's get them out of the boxes and onto the shelf and let's see if they actually look any good. Now, unfortunately, my fox isn't coming for about a week, but I think these look pretty good. We are on day 22 now and I've really been avoiding it, and it's time to tackle this garden. To be fair, I did actually do about 20 minutes on the weekend, which was day 19 of this challenge, before my blood sugar levels just plummeted and I had to stop. But the weather today is amazing, like 16 degrees and 18 degrees tomorrow. And honestly, the weather did help me to procrastinate for this long because it was cold and wet and rainy and windy and overcast and whatever this is. But it's time to attack this thing before it swallows the house, when it actually starts to grow and take off again, now that the weather might actually be getting warmer. As I got started on my nemesis, my husband decided to give me moral support during my gardening efforts between his meetings. Thanks, husband. Gold star. And honestly, what I thought was going to be a Herculean effort really didn't take me that long. Over a couple of days, I managed to tame the biggest plants, and the biggest mental load was lifted. One of the weird things about doing this challenge is that you think you're going to get to the end of cleaning and never have to clean ever again, except the laundry and the kitchen, you know, they're constant. So you never quite get to the end. But weird flex, I've kind of gotten to the end of things that I can do, which is amazing and would be a completely different story if I was still living in Australia with all my things, but we've only been living in the UK for 2 years, so we really don't have that much stuff. Now, one thing I have been avoiding doing is taking all the stuff to charity. Here it is all still sitting here. Because the last time I went to charity, I packaged up a huge bag of stuff and it got rejected. It was heavy and I had to carry it all the way up there and I had to carry it all the way back. On the weekend, I did a scouting mission and I went to a couple of the charities and I asked them, is there anything that you don't take? And they told me flat out what they don't take. They said they take everything else. So I feel across between about 4 different charity stores, I should be able to get rid of these in the next few days, which is amazing. Well, it's done. The challenge is over. My house is now one of those places that takes 5 to 10 minutes to reset because everything actually has a home. And honestly, that feels amazing. And I put in a few systems along the way to keep it that way. But the biggest shift wasn't in my space, it was in me. And I'm struggling to put into words just how different I feel. At the start of this challenge, my life felt completely and utterly stuck, like really stuck, and now it's chalk and cheese. The change crept up on me, and by week 3 or 4, I kind of hit that tipping point, but I can't pin it on just one thing. It was everything. The mental load started shifting, the momentum kept me moving forward, and before I knew it, I was being way more proactive in my own life. Finally getting the supplements I needed, signing up for a course I'd been eyeing, refreshing my wardrobe, having more fun with my son and husband, and even reaching out to a business friend for accountability. My energy, productivity, and creativity have just gone through the roof. It's almost like the things I tell my clients to do actually work. I expected this challenge to be useful and dramatically help me, but Going through the transformation firsthand, it's just been a profound experience. So what are you waiting for? Get cleaning.